How we're going to get epic gems in Cataclysm changes massively from how it was in Wrath of the Lich King. Now, the reason I'm talking about this so early, because if you don't know, just right up front, epic gems don't come until Dragon Soul. But the reason I want to talk about it now is because I've had a few messages from people about the fact that they're stacking up on ore, and I was a bit confused why. Now, if you came back for Cataclysm, or you just weren't aware back in Wrath of the Lich King, titanium ore existed from the start of the expansion, but it didn't become prospectable until much later, at which point you could then start getting epic gems out of the ore. Now, a big mistake made back in original Cataclysm, and what I'm kind of seeing people do now, is assuming the same happens for pyrite ore. So if you're sat on loads of pyrite ore, expecting it to become prospectable when we get to Dragon Soul, you're wrong. When I say prospectable, I mean prospectable where you're specifically going to get epic gems from them, because you will be able to prospect it, but yeah, just no epic gems. So how do you actually get the gems then? Getting epic gems in Cataclysm when Dragon Soul comes is actually a bit of a poor system. Each boss you kill, excluding the last boss, which is Madness of Deathwing, will drop a Mote of Darkness. Now, this isn't something you roll on, this is a currency, so every boss you kill, everybody in your raid gets one of these motes. When you kill Madness of Deathwing, you're going to get an essence of Corrupted Deathwing. Now, the difference between these two currencies is what you actually spend them on. Now, inside you'll be able to find a vendor where you can buy two things with these currencies. The first thing that you'll spend Mote of Darkness on is a Crystalline Geode. When you open these Crystalline Geodes, you have a chance at an epic gem, and it's about 10% going by historical data. Most of the time you'll just get a green gem or even a blue gem. The thing is, you will get 7 of these a week, and not just you, your entire raid will get 7 of these a week, assuming you're doing a full clear. With the currency that you get from Deathwing himself, the Essence of Corrupted Deathwing, you'll use this on an Elementum coated geode. Now, these are always guaranteed to have a primary stat uncut gem. So this would be a Shadow Spinel, Lava Coral, or Queen's Garnet. Now, these are the gems that turn into things like 50 agility or 50 int or 50 strength, so they're the important gems. So everybody in your group, assuming you do a full clear, is guaranteed 1 gem a week, and then there's kind of RNG behind the rest. You might get lucky and someone might use 7 of their motes and get 3 or 4 epic gems, whereas other people in your raid will get absolutely none. So it's going to be kind of important to actually sort of make sure everybody's getting epic gems, rather than if you're lucky, you're going to get them. If you're unlucky, you're not. Now, epic gems are going to be ridiculously expensive. I'd say probably for the first 3 or 4 weeks, because just the limited amount of these that there's actually going to be. And obviously the reason they're limited is because the guilds that are going to go in and clear very fast are actually going to want to be using the gems themselves. And not only are they going to want to be using their gems themselves, they're also probably going to be wanting to buy any that hit the auction house as well, and not really care how much they actually spend on them. Now, what about the recipes? Because this is something you can get ready now. If you're a jewel crafter and you want to make absolute bank in Dragon Soul, being prepared to get as many of these big key recipes as possible is going to be a big deal. So the recipes become available when Dragon Soul launches, but they are exactly the same currency as what you're earning now by doing your daily JC quest. Each specific recipe costs 5 jewel crafting tokens each, or you can buy a book, like a tome, for 4 of them, so 1 cheaper, but you get a random recipe. So what most people will probably do, just to save as many tokens as possible, will obviously not be spending your tokens now, making sure you're doing your daily every single day between watching this video and Dragon Soul launching, so you can at least buy the important ones first, like agility, strength, intellect, haste, agility, mastery, you know, the important gems that you know people are going to want to use. And then really for the rest, you might as well just buy the random tomes, because you're going to want all the recipes eventually, and it just kind of doesn't matter what order you get them in, because you know the gems that are actually going to sell, and obviously you're going to buy those recipes as an individual recipe anyway. Now, while I don't mind this system, I do think it's got a lot of drawbacks, and I do think it would be a good time for Blizzard to potentially make pyrite ore prospectable, because who wants to be waiting weeks to be able to fully gem their gear? I know it's like kind of a cop-out, but on the basis we're not really meant to be in Cataclysm all too long when Dragon Soul comes out, you know, 3 or 4 months, you're not going to want to be A, spending ludicrous amounts of gold to be able to buy all full epic gems, because you're probably going to be wanting to put your gold aside ready for mop, and B, it just feels bad just waiting that long, you know, for so many epic gems. Now, whether they change it or not, they probably won't, to be completely honest with you, but I just wanted you to be armed with the information on, well, firstly, pyrite might hold no value, but if they was to change it so it was prospectable, who knows, maybe it's worth keeping hold of at least until Dragon Soul launches. But really how it's meant to work is that just shouldn't be a thing. But this time round in Classic, I actually think it could be a good idea. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and like and subscribe and all that stuff. Oh, and also, if you plan on playing fresh, so Classic, I mean, I'm not myself, but obviously check out Rested XP in the link in the description because it's the quickest way to level both on Classic, Fresh Realms, and obviously Hardcore if you're going to do Hardcore as well. I think now I can go.